doom and gloom for Canada. That's what they like to tell us, isn't it? Doom and gloom. They reckon Canada's gonna die because of Donald Trump and his tariffs. Canada's gonna become the 51st state. Or the 51st to the 60th state because it's such a big landmass. Just cease and desist all that rubbish, will you, please? You see, Canada is actually doing pretty darn well. Like I said in the previous video, their economy is actually improving somewhat. They're diversifying. But also, they are creating jobs. Now, Donald Trump, the US president, well, he said that. There was 147,000 new jobs, according to his own figures that came out of his head. But in fact, the United States is bleeding jobs. Unlike Canada, for instance, who's added another 83,000 jobs in June. 83,000 jobs in June. They've actually done a lot better than expected. The forecast since, say, 83,000 jobs in June, no. They're expecting them to be bleeding jobs, just like the United States. But no. You see, they've got a new direction. They have focus, and they know where they're going. You see, back there is the United States. And over there is the light. And they are travelling head on into the light. Follow the light, Carrie Ann. Follow the light. But you see, Canada's economy added to 83,000 jobs in June, moving the chance of a Bank of Canada rate cut for interest rates. So, job figures, best economist expectations, unemployment rate dropped to 6.9%. But you see, Canada's labour market defied the expectations in June, adding a net 83,100 jobs, while the unemployment rate dropped to 6.9%, according to Statistics Canada data released on Friday. So whatever Mark Carney, your Prime Minister, is doing, let him carry on. He's putting you on the right path. Now, I have a bit of affinity for Mark Carney since he was our Bank of England governor of England. And he helped soften the blow of Brexit. We would have been in a shithole, we would have been, almost straight away if it wasn't for Mark Carney. So I think you got the right person for the job. That's my feelings. I'm no expert on that, but, you know, the proof is in the pudding, isn't it, you know? You don't get jobs without there being some form of business growth, if you know what I mean. You know, because you need people, don't you? So the figures make a Bank of Canada interest rate cut less likely, because obviously growth might keep it, you know, they don't want inflation, basically. So they're not going to cut the interest rates with a threat of inflation. Because more people have jobs, more people spend money, you can increase inflation. And this is what economists are saying, and will likely move the focus to upcoming inflation data. Now, financial industry experts have expected the job market to stay essentially flat last month, forecasting a net loss of 3,000 jobs, according to consensus estimates published by the Bank of Montreal. Expectations were for the unemployment rate to increase 0.1% to 7.1%, but the results are not on the same planet as the consensus call for a flat reading, writes the BMO economist Benjamin Ritz. And the data are materially better than expected, even though part-time positions account for most of the gains. There's still gains and there's still jobs. It means people are getting paid. Barring a sharp decline in underlying inflation in next week's June CPI report, which looks unlikely, the strength in today's jobs data and recently heightened uncertainty on the trade front is likely to keep the BOC on the sidelines when it beats later this month. So they're not going to, you know, they're still nervous. But it's early days, isn't it? It's early days. And they have got, well, new jobs. People have got jobs. So he's doing the right thing. It's going the right way, as far as I can see anyway. How do you feel about it? Because at the end of the day, I'm an Englishman living in France. It's not my life, is it? It's yours. How do you feel about your prospects? Do you feel that's rosy, or do you think you're going to have to make some changes? Are you worried about a car manufacturing plant that you work at? You see, it's all relative, isn't it, you see? You might know that there's new jobs, but there again, you might be at risk of losing yours, so you might have to, maybe you've got to move, maybe you don't want to. It's difficult, isn't it? But there's one person you can blame, and that is Trump, and the Trump regime. And Matt can actually come to that, actually, at least 32% of the voting public, you know how it goes. But at the end of the day, at least you've got somebody who hopefully is going to ride this difficult time and improve your prospects. I think you've got the right person, though. I really do. Toodaloo.